Did you know that in the 1800s, Afghan women controlled their husbands, rode horses, loved beauty products, were very brave, and smoked hookah? That is according to James Rattray, a British soldier and artist who visited Afghanistan in the 1800s. He spoke the local language, and his work was set against the backdrop of the First Anglo-Afghan War of 1838. Rattray traveled to Afghanistan in 1841, and he drew sketches of Afghans he came into contact with, and he liked to draw how they lived and their clothing. Let's see how he depicted Afghan women of the 1800s, based on 3 of his works. The first one is called Lady of Kabul, and the British spelled Kabul with a C. The seated lady is Shukurlab, or Sugar Lips. She was the wife of a Bamyan governor or hakim. Rattray wrote about her and Afghan women. Though the women of Afghanistan are strictly under the parda or curtain, as those in Hindustan or India, Afghan women enjoy life more than Hindu women. They make excursions to the flower gardens in town, they ride on horseback, visit the bazaars, listen to the love tales of a Persian storyteller, go shopping, and they like to gossip. Sometimes they throw off their veils when they are in a group. I find the girls are strikingly handsome, though to European taste, their regular features are somewhat disfigured by rouge, blush, white paint, and beauty spots or halls. Rattray goes on to describe Lady Shukurlab. Her dress shows that of her countrywomen in general. Her long black hair enshrouded her whole figure and was divided into 100 strings of gilded plaits or braids. The back of her head was covered by a golden skull cap adorned with rows of coins. Splendid jewels set in peculiar workmanship hung from her nose and her ears and her eyes. Her eyes were dyed with surma or kohl, with the dye extending down either side of the nose. Hey, sounds like she was contouring. A shawl pattern was painted between the arches. Her neck and cheeks were dotted with molds and rouge. Henna stained her hands, her feet, her fingernails, her toes in a deep brown color. Sounds like Rattray was really looking at these women. Afghan women amuse themselves indoor with their hookah pipes, embroidery, and conversation. They are very fond of gossip, but their toilette is the principal object of their existence. In other words, Afghan women took great deal to take care of their beauty. Afghan women control their husbands. Now let's take a closer look at the drawing and look at the details surrounding her. So she's holding a rose, and in the background you see roses with bowls, and I'm thinking that's rose water, that she cares so much about her skin. And in front of her it looks like some sort of trunk filled with glass pitchers and beakers, perhaps some jewels, and on the shelf or more beakers, jars, and other items. I'm thinking it's more beauty products. She's sitting on a mat over a mattress, and the room is designed with what looks like marble or ivory. There's a lot of intricate detail there with columns, arches, and these beautiful niches. And in front of her is a hookah pipe. So I imagine these 2 women are in that room and they're trying on different skincare and they're gossiping and they're smoking hookah. These ladies know how to have a good time. The next illustration or lithograph is a group of tribal women on Rattray's trip from Ghazni to Kandahar, who he described as peculiar or strange in appearance. He says they wore black and dark blue veils bordered with red and yellow diamond patterns. And he says their shirts were also a dark color and their pants showed the prettiest ankles in the world. They wore ear, finger, wrist, ankle, and nose rings. Here's another one of Rattray's lithographs that show the strong influence of British Orientalism. Let's look at Rattray's illustration called Lady of Kandahar. This is how he describes the burqa, which at the time, wealthy women of Afghanistan wore the head-to-toe burqa. When outdoors or riding horses, Afghan women wear a white sheet attached by gold jewels to the back of the head. It conceals the whole figure. All outline is entirely lost. One has to guess what class of creatures they belonged. He also says that they like to wear loose white boots fastened by a silk garter above the knee, turned down at top like a collar showing the lining. Above the knee, on those garters, there's holy inscriptions from the Quran, which he calls acts of zeal. The Afghan women sit on horseback, generally sitting behind their husband, but if they're alone, a man would lead them from the front. So then Rattray goes on to describe in great detail the interior design of an Afghan home, which was back then very intricate, very luxurious. Inside the house, there are a lot of open arches with carved wood or masonry, scrolls and patterns, niches filled with beauty products, china, ornaments, dried fruits, and hookah pipes. The walls had a shimmery, glittery silver, and the ceilings were enameled with cut glass. The floors were covered with carpets and silk and velvet pillows with tassels throughout. Rattray has also described Afghan women as very cause-driven. Based on Rattray's depictions and illustrations of Afghan women in the 1800s, it sounds like they had a very unique fashion style, loved to take care of themselves, loved beauty products. They were very skilled horse riders. They had great interior design taste. They were respected by their husbands. They stood up for love and what they believed in. They liked to gossip. They had killer eyebrows, and they loved their hookah pipes. I'm Samira Tash. If you like this video and content like this, please like, follow, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching Beauty in the East.